Alright, guys, this is going to be my very first episode of Knowledge Bits. How's everybody doing? I hope you're doing great. I hope you are having a great new year. And I am going to start off by playing one of my favorite games for the SNES. This is Mega Man X. Of course, if you clicked on this, you probably know what this is already, to be honest. This was a game I grew up playing. I love this game. And I know it pretty decently. I've beaten it, not a few times, like 50 times, something like that. It's just been a while, so bear with me if I suck. Anyways, the purpose of this show is, so it's called Knowledge Bits because what I want to do here is so I'm going to play games, of course, that's the main thing, but the real purpose behind it is as I create videos, I want you guys to get something out of it. I want to be able to make you guys, I don't know, just give you something to think about for the day, you know? I want this to be something that it's like, oh, well, I'm just chilling, watching this guy play some games, but at the same time, it's like, well, it got me thinking about, something in your life, you know? Because the thing is, at the end of the day, guys, I mean, I'm 30 years old, and this is a long time coming. I've been wanting to do this since I was maybe about 20, and I never really did. And it's kind of silly because it's like, why wouldn't I, you know? I've seen so many people, so many YouTubers, I've watched them for 10 or more years, and it's like, why didn't I do it? Now, don't get me wrong, the whole success thing and everything is scary, but at the same time, it's like, let's say I started 10 years ago. What if I had 100,000 followers, subscribers, whatever, you know? What if I could do this semi-consistently and make money off the side while I do something I love? Because one of the things that's been happening lately is I've been working a lot. I'm trying to move into a new place with my girlfriend, and it's a long time coming because I'm like, dude, I want to I want to play life by my own rules, you know? And it's like, why is it taking me until I'm 30 years old to start making moves in that direction? And so what I want to talk about in this episode is I want to talk about doing what you want. Because a lot of people, I feel like they get stuck in this kind of stage of your life of oh, well, I have other things I should be doing. I don't have time to be doing this. I have a family, I have kids, I have work, I have to make money, I have to pay bills, whatever the case is. We kind of get caught up with life, you know? And it gets hard. Don't get me wrong. I get it. It's hard. But the thing is that I have to die. Hold on. But the thing is that, you're right. We have responsibilities to take care of. But are we really gonna live our entire lives just based off of those responsibilities and not off of what we want to do? You know what I'm saying? This is why I'm doing this in the first place, because I have a few points here for today. So it's do what you want to do, right? That's what I want to talk about in general. But what makes you happy? So for me, for many of you probably, is playing video games. I love playing video games. I grew up playing them since as long as I can remember. I played this game when I was 5 years old. That's insane, because my goodness, this game is this game is tough for a 5-year-old. But the thing is, I enjoyed it, right? And when you're a kid, you kind of just do things day by day. You don't really think too far ahead about what you have to do or what your responsibilities are or anything like that. And you just kind of go with the flow, you know? And when you're an adult, we kind of forget sometimes to go for what we want. And we kind of just get stuck in this oh, well, I went to school for this, so now I'm going to work in this, or I've been working in this job for this long, so I'm going to stay here because it's comfortable and I know it, or whatever the hell the case is. But it's dude, why are you going to get stuck in a lifestyle that you're not completely happy with? You know what I mean? And bear with me, guys, because this is my first time doing this. I'm going to have a lot of pauses probably in between. I'm still new to this, but I just want to be able to kind of, not necessarily shed some light, but kind of, it's I just want you guys to think about your life, you know? I want you to be able to be okay, well, this guy who's playing video games, very chill, whatever, he actually makes me think about, my goodness, I suck when I talk and play. He's making me think about, am I heading in the right direction in my life? Because that's the thing. There is no right direction for everybody. Everyone has their own direction to head in life. My question is, are you heading in the direction that you want to be heading in? You know, because for me, it's well, okay, I'm making some money now. I make all right, you know, not that much, but not that little. I'm going to get my own place. I have money to buy stuff. I mean, I bought a new laptop for this. I bought a capture card. Honestly, I invested almost ugh, let's see, a good $1,000, a good grand on this stuff with my laptop, my setup, and everything. Um, and that's good because imagine I didn't have the money to do that. So I get it. I get it. Money is very necessary for a lot of stuff. Family, of course, is very important. You do not want to neglect your family. But the thing is that I just want to make sure that I'm also doing things that I want to do, and be able to attain. My goodness, I'm usually really good at that part, but whatever. And be able to do the things that I want to do, And so that's why I invested in it. It's like it's not like I have $1 million in my bank account, but I had enough to be like, okay, well, I'm good for like half a year, and I can set aside $1,000 for this, because I'm doing something I want to do. I don't want to just be stuck in like, oh well, I have to go to this job that I hate. I have to work 8 hours a day, 5 days a week on this job. Like, what kind of lifestyle is that? Like, this is the thing. I used to work at Walmart. And when I worked at Walmart, one of my favorite things to ask people was, oh shit. My goodness. All right. One of my favorite things to ask people was, how long did you plan on working here when you first? My goodness. Oh, I died against Chill Penguin. Are you kidding me? Oh, that is terrible. Okay. One of my favorite things to ask them was, how long did you plan on working here when you first started? And what do you think everyone said? Everyone pretty much said, oh, just for a little bit. Just for a short amount of time. Just for a few years. Just for like a year or something like that. And then I'm like, okay, cool. How long has it been since you started working here? And majority of them would be like 5 years, 10 years. I'm like, what the hell are you doing? I mean, I didn't respond like that directly to them, but that's what I was thinking. Because there's a thing. If you don't want to work there, why are you spending 10 years of your life there? You know what I'm saying? It's like 10 years is a long time. Let's say you live to be 70 years old. That's 1/7 of your life. That's like almost 20%. It's probably like 15%. I can't do math that quickly. But it's probably like a good chunk of your life. You know what I mean? So why would you spend that much time? There you go. See, that's what I should have done last time. But why do you spend so much time of your life in something you don't want to do? And that's why I'm like, okay, I'm doing things to be able to attain things, right? So I'm working hard to be able to get my own place, to be able to attain the things that I want, to be able to afford them, right? Stormigo. And so I'm working towards that. Now the thing is, there are many ways to work towards that. There's not one job. There's not something you get stuck in. People have to understand that you're not stuck at a job. It's all in your head. Because think about it, you're stuck at Walmart. You're not stuck at Walmart, dude. How many other jobs are there in the world? How many other jobs are there in your community, in your area? It's like, don't get me wrong. They're like, a lot of them are gonna be like, oh well, Target, this, that. It's gonna be very similar. Sure, I understand that. But at the same time, it's like, okay, what if you're into cars? What if you start being a mechanic? Start your own little thing. Start working on cars, and it's like, okay, well, it's not quite full time, but you're working on it part time. You learn how to fix certain things, and then you have a trade that you can go off of. You don't have to spend 10 years working at a place you don't want to be in. And that's one thing I never understood. I'm like, why do people do that? Because, I mean, like, to an extent, I understand, right? We've already established that. Yeah, to an extent, it's like, yeah, sure, you gotta pay the bills. I almost died. You gotta pay the bills, and life gets hard, especially if you have kids and a family. Life gets very challenging, but it doesn't mean it's impossible. It's just a matter of, are you putting the effort? Are you working towards something else? I think I could just go. Yeah, cool. Because if you're not, then what the hell do you expect, really? I mean, it's like, oh well, I want to go do this, or I want to go back to school, or I want to live in this place, or I want to move to a better community because I live in the hood, or whatever the hell the case is. If you want more, how long have you been wanting more? Because if you've been wanting more for, let's say, 6 months, it's like, okay, 6 months is not a lot of time to work with, right? But if you've been wanting more for 10 years, like, even if you have a family, even if you're busy and have other stuff going on, 10 years is a long time. You can make some changes to be able to, like, head in a different direction. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on. Now, don't get me wrong. I get it, guys. Life's hard. Life can be a bitch sometimes. I completely understand. But do not let that be an excuse of why you're not getting ahead in life. And by getting ahead, I don't mean, oh, well, this person has this and I want to have that too. It's like, no, if you want to have that, you want to have it because you want to have it. You don't want to have it because someone else wants to have it. Because who the hell cares what the hell everyone else has? If you're completely happy with your life, that's great. You are where you're supposed to be. If you're not, that's your mind, that's your spirit telling you, like, hey, this isn't enough for me. This isn't what I signed up for. This isn't what life means to me. I want this. I want that. I want these experiences. Now, I'm not talking materialistic things either. Some people want materialistic things. There's nothing wrong with that. But I'm talking mainly of, like, okay, well, what do you want to be doing in your life? Now, I'm not saying purpose, because purpose is a kind of vague term. I'm saying, like, fuck. I was doing fine. I was like, oh, I'm beating him without getting hit. And talking, and then I was like, yeah, and then I got hit. Anyways, I'm not talking about purpose. I'm talking about just, experiencing life how you want to experience it. And that's the thing. That changes from time to time. Like, when I was a kid, I would think of, like, okay, this is how I want my life to head, and I want to have these things by this age, and I want to have this situation by this time, and then after this, I'm going to do this, and all this kind of stuff. But that's not how life works out. Life doesn't work out the way we plan it out in our heads, and that's okay. It's okay. That doesn't mean that life isn't going to head in the direction we want it to head into. Flame Mammoth. Wait, yeah, Flame Mammoth. It just means that we have to be able to adapt to what life throws at us. And this is the thing. If you've been wanting to do something for 10, 15, 20 years, maybe even a couple years, why haven't you done anything, And I say this because I've done the same thing. I like I said earlier, I wanted to do this for many years. I've wanted to try something like this, a YouTube channel, for the last 10 years, but it wasn't a fully formed thought, It was kind of like, oh, that's not good. Oh, I got it. Oh, I got it. Anyways, I was thinking about doing YouTube for a long time, and I don't mean like very professionally or anything. I just mean kind of casually, because I saw people doing it, and I'm like, oh, these people just seem chill. And then I hear now, 10 years later, I hear like, oh yeah, this guy started his channel 4 years ago, and now he has 2 million subscribers or something like that. I'm like, damn. If I would have started 4 years ago, maybe I would have had something. If I would have started 10 years ago, imagine. I've seen YouTubers since before they had 1 million followers, since before they had 500,000 followers. I remember watching Game Theory when it was still pretty new. It had like I don't remember exactly how many subscribers it had, but I remember that old ass logo that they had. And yeah, I watched them, and he was great. MatPat was great. But the thing is, like, why didn't I? They're pissing me off. Why didn't I try doing something? Because at the end of the day, it's like, maybe it wouldn't be as successful as Game Theory was, but hey, if it was mildly successful, I could be doing this for fun. This is the thing. I like I said earlier, I love playing video games, right? I grew up playing them. When was the last time I played a video game? Probably about 3 to 4 weeks ago. I started playing Spyro, the third one for the PlayStation, and I was having fun. Why did I stop? I stopped not because I didn't want to play it anymore, because I was enjoying it. It's because I had other things to do. And that's what makes it hard in life. Sometimes we have other more pressing matters. We have priorities to take care of. That's what makes it more challenging. But that's not enough of an excuse to not do what I want. Now, I'm not saying that I'm going to neglect everything in my life and just do whatever the hell I want in the moment. What I'm saying is that I have to find a way to be able to be able to take care of the necessities in my life, the responsibilities, having a house over my head, having food on the table, and at the same time be able to enjoy parts of my life. And that's the part that I think we need to work on. Yeah, this is tough. It's a little straining on my voice. But yeah, you see what I'm saying? I think that's the key. Like, this is the thing. None of us are perfect, and we all have our own struggles. We all have our own priorities. We all have our own families, whatever the case is. But the thing is that if you give up, I mean, life kind of sucks, you know? I've never given up, and I've still had moments where life sucks. Um, and yeah, it gets tough, guys, but we have to do something about it. We can't just sit on our asses and expect life to just be like, you know what? You've been so patient all these years. Here you go. Here's a freebie. Don't worry about it. Everything's gonna be okay. The bills are gonna be paid. Like, we can't do that. We have to take action. We have to do it ourselves. We cannot depend on something or someone else to be able to take care of it. Now, there's the thing. I grew up very spiritually, right? I grew up in a Christian home, so I get the whole faith, having faith, being patient thing. I'm not saying to not have that and to not be patient. What I'm saying is to not assume that things are going to happen just because you deserve it. Things will happen because you deserve it, but you deserve it because you work for it too. You work for it and you're incredibly patient about it. That's the key. If you just assume that it's going to happen, it's not going to happen. Sorry to tell you, but most of us are not going to be lucky in our lives. We have to work towards the things that are going to make our lives better. Well, that was terrible. And yeah, we can't just sit on our asses and wait for things to just magically work out. We have to go for it. Whatever it is, you have to go for it. If you're like, for example, if you're trying to date someone, it's like, are you gonna just hope that they see you one day? I'm sorry, guys, but especially as a man, you kind of have to go for it most of the times, like 95% of the time. You can't just expect things to just magically work out. It does for some people, but it's not for most of us. And if it doesn't work out for most of us, we have to do something about it, you know? You have to take action. And so yeah, that's the whole deal. But yeah, if you haven't gone for what you want to do in your life, why? Think about it. Like, really think about it. Why haven't you tried to, I don't know, work in something that you love? There's a lot of ways to be successful in life, but at the same time, if you're just doing it for the money, then it's gonna suck sometimes. Well, life will suck eventually, no matter how perfect your life is, you know? But what I mean is that it's gonna suck more if you're not doing something you love. And so I think it's important for us to seek something besides just something that pays the bills or something that takes care of the family, because then that way you'll enjoy more of your life. I mean, think about it. For me, when I work roughly 6 days a week, and I work, let's see how much, like maybe 6 hours most days. Some days I work 10 hours or 8 hours, depending. So let's do the math. So 6 times 6, that's 36, right? Add another 4 to 8 hours, that's about 45 hours. And that's most of us. Most of us probably work at least 30 to 40 hours a week. That's 30 to 40 hours in 1 week. That's insane. So think about it. If you're not enjoying those 30 to 40 hours, that's a good chunk of your life that you are not enjoying. And I'm sorry, guys, but maybe I'm selfish, but I want to enjoy my life as much as possible. I do not want to just be living and dealing with bullshit and then fuck these guys. I don't want to just live day by day, just getting by, just not enjoying life. I want to experience things. I want to meet people. I want to go places. I want to have fun whenever I do anything. And of course, sometimes life isn't going to be fun. And I get that, but we have to do something about it, you know? We have to make, if you make your life a little bit better, that's the goal, you know? It's not about making our lives perfect. None of us are going to have a perfect life because, well, life's hard. But yeah, all right. So that's going to be it for this episode. Next episode, I'm going to take this guy down and I'm going to talk about something else. Anyways, hope you guys had a good time. Love you guys. Be safe. Have a great New Year's. If you guys have New Year's resolutions, work towards them. Do not just say like, oh, this is what I want to do and this is what I'm going to go for and not work for them. I think it's very important to work on them. Because I've done that. I've been there. Literally, these last few years, I've still done the same shit. I know it's hard, guys, but we got to make the effort. We got to do something different. Because if we don't change anything with how we do things in our life, if we don't change what we do, how are we going to expect the outcome to be any different, you know? All right. Stay safe, guys. Goodbye.